So what do I love about Godforge? Let's find out. Welcome to the Adventures of Adam. I'm Adam. Let's adventure. In my last video, I went on a bit of a rant about a pet peeve I had in the game in terms of gold taxes. But that was yesterday's video, so I thought I would even the score and talk about the things I love about Godforge, all the things that I see them doing right. So the first thing I want to talk about is their energy overflow, overspill. I don't know what they're calling it, but it's like an energy overflow system, right? So basically what happens is every time you do a run, and this will be true for the live game as well. Every time you do a run, the level grants you a certain amount of experience. That experience will be allotted to the heroes that are in your party that aren't max level. For every hero who is max level, you gain XP overflow, and it's converted into a resource called hero experience. And then you take that resource called hero experience and you apply it to your heroes to rank them up. So at the end of the battle, we have this resource right here, hero experience. So because all 4 of my team were max level and the experience would have otherwise been wasted on them, it's now converted into experience. And we use this experience to level up our heroes. So if we go back to the hero menu, and would say I want to level up this Icarus, I can go zoop, and it automatically populates the XP that I would need to level him from 1 to 60. Another thing that I love is the quality of life. If I hit this autofill button, it automatically puts in the resources I need to rank up the hero if I have them on my account. So you can see it puts in my 5-star food champions that I've leveled up. I don't have any 4-stars though. But if I wanted to, I could use these epics, which I probably will, but that's because the rares in this game are really strong. That's another thing I love about this game. And to kind of prove my point, I've been trying to beat the caverns using only rares. So right now, I am on stage 132. The reason I'm stuck here is because there's currently a hero called Isis who's bugged, and she does way more healing than she's supposed to, which is why I'm building Icarus, because he does really big single target damage. But it caps out at 150, and then after you beat 150, you've beaten it, and you fight the final boss. And you have like unlimited mode. You go until he kills you, similar to what we see in the Demon Lord clan boss in Raid Shadow Legends. It's like a slowly scaling damage that will kill you eventually. But yeah, so 150 is the final level effectively. I'm on 132 and I'm doing it with rares. The rares in this game are really strong. Scotty is like the equivalent of putting Bellower in a stun set. Only you don't have to gear her in a stun set to get the Bellower in a stun set style vibes. Like she's does an AoE decrease speed. She's a 3-time random hitter that has a chance to freeze, and then she freezes on her A1. She's like, I don't want to compare her to Yukaro the Scourge because I think Yukaro the Scourge gets a bad rap and he's super underrated. And if I compare her to Yukaro, people will be like, well, Yukaro sucks. He doesn't suck. He's quite good. She reminds me of Yukaro in the amount of utility she brings in terms of crowd control. Just super good champion. Or super good hero. I love Scotty. My starter, Guan Yu, hits like a truck. This is a starting hero. Not my starter, but a starter who I built for extra damage to help me plow through the waves. Isolde is so good. She does a turn meter boost with increased attack when you get the increased attack bonus when she's 5-star level 5 awakened. So she's fully awakened and now she gets increased attack on all allies with a turn meter boost. And then on her ultimate, she also has another turn meter boost with a cleanse. So she's sort of like Apothecary and Spirit Host together. She's got this 14% all battle speed lead, and she's got a passive that puts out healing. So whenever a defender's attack, she heals all allies by 5% of her own max HP. So I've got these 2 defenders that I put on my team depending. So some waves I want to smash down with damage, which is why I have 2 damage dealers. Other waves I want to be super tanky, so I'll bring in my defenders. And every time they're attacked, when I get hit with AoEs, because they're both defenders, it triggers our passive and heals them back up. And there's just all these crazy synergies that you can put together on your team with rares. Like, the rares are very good. You don't need epics to progress. You don't need legendaries to progress. And I'm really hoping I can beat the game using just rares to prove that, because the rares are quite good. And right now, I don't know if this is just an alpha exclusive thing, but right now it's such that you can do unlimited multi-battles. You just hit the button and let it go, and it'll go until you run out of energy. There's no limit to it. That could just be an alpha feature, because they are giving us copious amounts of energy so we can thoroughly test all the systems in place. But it would be really cool if they launched the game with this, right? That would be cool. Another thing that they're doing, speaking of things that might only be for the alpha, is right now it doesn't cost energy when you're trying to progress, when you attempt to complete a wave for the first time. So if you try and you fail, it doesn't cost you energy. And it doesn't cost energy the first time you beat it either. The only time it consumes energy is if you go back to a stage you've already beaten to farm it for the resource that stage drops. So that is a really cool, and I love that. It's super generous, borderline necessary for an alpha test, but I would love to see that at launch. That would be so cool and so contrary to what we're used to seeing coming from Raid Shadow Legends. It's really cool. I would love to see that feature at launch too. This is something that I love. It's been a ton of fun, and I'm sure, I highly doubt anybody has any complaints about this. Now, this one is huge. It's listening to feedback. The people who are making this game are in the Discord daily. I see Hell Hades himself in the Discord talking to players, chatting to members, talking about his experience, listening to their experience. And yesterday, as I mentioned, I did make a rant video complaining a bit about what I would like to see changed in Godforge. And Hell Hades watched that video. While he didn't leave a comment on that video, he did see me pop into Ragewood's stream, which he was watching too, by the way. Again, supporting the content creators who are supporting his game, which that's just so cool. But we were watching Ragewood's stream, and after a bit of banter, he writes, "Hey Adam, I'm not talking to you because you made a rant video." Obviously, he was just joking, which, you know, that's totally fair. But then, again, more banter. He goes, "Can someone please tell Adam for me that I have shared with the Economist team?" So what he means by that is, the thing I was complaining about in in Godforge, is the gold tax for everything. Anytime you try to do anything in terms of upgrading your heroes, whether it's upgrading the skills, promoting with potions, where did that, leveling them up from level to level, it all costs gold, and to me that just doesn't feel right. I think gold should be an exclusive material resource used for upgrading artifacts and weapons. Like, to me, if they did that, it would be fine. And even then, with the weapons, it still feels kind of weird, because we already have to farm these resources, these godsteel things. Like, I already have to farm the gods. Like, it still falls under the category of gear to me, so I'm not as fussed about it. But I spent like 3 million silver or more, maybe, leveling this up today. Like, that's a lot of silver to level up a weapon. Now, it's a good weapon, and it's going to give you some good value on my account. But the point is, whether or not they can remove, because look, I'm not an economist. I don't know how to build an in-game economy. I don't understand the ins and outs of inflation and needing a resource dump. There's a word for it that's not coming to me. A sink, a gold sink. Something to sink your gold into so it doesn't flood the economy, right? I don't know the intricacies of building an economy from scratch. I just know how I feel as a player. So I've expressed my concerns. My concerns were heard, and he's talking to the economy team about it. Now, if they are unable to remove the gold cost, I get it. I'm sure they have their reasons. Maybe it's necessary for building an economy. Maybe they need those gold sinks in there. But for me, it doesn't feel good. So even if they can't make the change that I would like, at least I know that my feedback has been heard. And that is super important to me. Knowing that they're actually listening and communicating with us about it. That is so huge. And that's something you don't see in games, period. Another thing I love about this game is the combat, the ultimate system, the turn-based combat. Like, it's the fact that it has a manual function, so I can take full control. And while I've taken full control, I can make strategic decisions that directly impact the outcome of the battle. Like, no, like, okay, I use Guan Yu's core ability here, so I'm not going to use Lady Zox. I'm going to save that for the next wave. I'm going to take out this Guan Yu. And then I am going to do the freeze here. We got 2 freezes. That's good. Because these are the 2 that will do damage. Try to finish this guy off. I think I'll finish this guy off. Because Guan Yu hits a little harder. Lady's locked to hit this guy. He's the biggest threat, so I'll kill him. And we finished him off. So because now I'm also saving my ultimates. There. So now I'm not blocking the screen. So whenever an entity lights up blue, it means their ultimate is ready. So I can click on Isolde here, and then she glows purple. That tells me that I've selected her and I'm about to use her ultimate. So even though it's Isolde's turn, I can click on Guan Yu and use Guan Yu's ultimate. I could use Lady Zox's ultimate. I could use Scotty's ultimate. I could use you can use their ultimates out of turn. So let's do Isolde's ultimate here to do a turn meter boost on everybody. And then it's still Isolde's turn, but I'm going to attack them with AoE decreased speed. And then I'm going to attack them with Lady Zox's ultimate. And then I'm going to attack them with Guan Yu's ultimate. And then, oh, it's still Isolde's turn. So I'm going to attack with Isolde now. Now it's Guan Yu's turn. So the fact that you have this crazy level of customization with how you approach the combat and when you use your ultimates, when, you know, like, it just gives you this level of control that you don't normally get. It's really, it just adds for some really strategic and complex turns. And strategic, like, I love the strategy aspect. When I first logged into Godforge for the first time, I was playing on ×1 speed for like the first 2 hours of the stream, and I was just, I was just soaking in the default view because it was super cinematic and it was super engaging. But yeah, this is the character that's bugged, Isis, right here. I'm having a hard time beating her, but I don't know, man. I just thought it just looks cool, and I've been having a blast playing it. I'm not gonna beat this wave until I build Icarus, but the combat system is great. They're listening to feedback. You have so much customization in your heroes. I touched a little bit on the weapon system, but the gearing is interesting. Like, you could have accuracy main stat on your helm. You could have attack. You could have crit rate. You could have crit damage on the shoulders. You know, you have your classic attack percentage, defense percentage, HP percentage on the chest. You have crit rate, crit damage on the gloves. You could also have accuracy main stat on the gloves. For the legs, you could have speed. You could have initiative. Same thing with the boots. I have initiative boots on Scotty here. And then the weapons. Because she's a debuffer, I've got this weapon here that allows her to ignore 30% of the enemy defense, and it also gives her attack and crit damage. But if I didn't want that, I could equip this weapon, and then she would gain 10% of her current HP as attack, and then gain the crit damage. Like, there's so much customization. So these weapons add extra passives to your hero. So single target attacks inflict additional 7% enemy max HP damage. I could put that on my Scotty if I wanted to. I've got that on my Icarus. But, you know, increase all sources of healing by 30%. I've got that on my Isolde. But then you can customize these even further. So you can add an imprint to these. So if there was a hero, like, for whom I had an imprint, let's say, I don't know their names, Emotep here. Place ward on the lowest HP ally for 1 turn at the start of each round. So this passive gets added to the weapon, and as long as this weapon is equipped to Isolde, Isolde then gains this passive. So at the start of each round, she's going to place ward on the ally with the lowest HP for a turn. Just for free. But there's insane ones too. Like if I put this imprint for Raw, heals this hero by 2.5% max HP each time a blaze is triggered. If I put this on my Icarus, who's placing blaze, it'll give my Icarus a little bit of sustain. So for every hero who is rare and above, they have a unique passive, and that passive can be imprinted onto a weapon. And then when you equip that imprinted weapon onto your hero, that hero now has that passive. So you could really it's insane how much customization there is through this weapon system. And they're also gaining the passive of the weapon itself. It's crazy. It's so fun to just theorycraft builds. And I'm sure there are things that I'm forgetting that I love about this game that just haven't occurred to me while I'm sitting here like actively trying to think of it. It's just good. It feels good to play. Like I said in my last video, there's literally only one thing I have to complain about, and it's the gold tax for anytime you're trying to do anything for upgrading a hero, right? Also, if there is a place to farm these rare skill upgrades in the tower, I haven't found it yet. And as someone who's trying to max out a bunch of rare heroes, I run out of rare skill upgrades. So yeah, maybe add some more skill upgrades. A place where I could farm these if I need to. I'm too shy of maxing out my Icarus, so I'm kind of sad. But yeah, this was a different kind of rant. I'm just ranting about how much I love Godforge. So this just kind of wanted to balance out the bad vibes I put out yesterday, because all in all, I really do love this game. For me, it's a 9.5 out of 10. They just need to, obviously there's the stuff that's clearly placeholder, like the UI, like this is placeholder. These menus are placeholder. Well, this one might not be. This one looks kind of good. But like this one's placeholder. Like things that we see aesthetically that don't look quite right and it's highly likely that those things will improve. But yeah, I love Godforge. It's everything I could have wanted and more. So yeah, I just felt like I owed the Fateless team a friendlier video today. And hopefully Hell Hades will start talking to me again. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you all in another video soon. But until next time, everyone, take care.